So this is the brand new Realme C35, a brand new budget option from Realme, which is the successor to last year's C25. There are a few downgrades actually that I've seen from this phone, but let's just take a look at the device itself, what you're getting for this price. Now, talking about price, wala pang official number from Realme, but it should be in the same ballpark as the Realme C25. So let's take a look at this new updated phone from Realme. So tingnan muna natin yung box na obviously features the very Realme yellow. We have the C35 branding all around. There's no 5G on this because if it did, meron siyang logo dito sa taas. And if we take a look at the back, we are getting the 4GB of RAM, 64 gigs of ROM on this version. Ngayon, buksan na natin yung box. So I'll be bringing out my best friend, Tetanus. Tignan mo yan. Kung nagkasakit ako, alam niyo kung bakit. Ayan. So let's open up the box here. And here we are getting the paper sleeve. Ito yung device, mamaya muna yan. Here is the paper sleeve. At sa loob ng paper sleeve, makukuha natin ang SIM ejector tool. Ooh, and some paperwork. Surprisingly, walang case dito. I was expecting a case. Usually, ang mga phone na to may kasamang case. Pero wala. We are just getting reading material for the toilet. Here is the device itself. Now let's take a look at this a little later on, because here we are getting an 18-watt charger for the Realme C35. Very nice. It's pretty big for an 18-watt charger. And of course, USB-C. All right, that's pretty much it for what is in the box. Surprisingly, there's no plastic case. I was expecting one, but let us now take a look at the device itself. All right, so this is the Realme C35 that features a glowing green colorway. Super simple. Akala ko yung green siya ng Realme 9. Pero hindi, it is a more pastel green that has a very subtle glow to it na nanggagaling sa 50-megapixel main shooter. A very simple design choice that I really like. Now, another design choice that I super love is this super boxy design. I wish all smartphones were shaped like this. Of course, it is subjective, but it is really nice to hold in the hand. And at 189 grams, it is pretty hefty and it feels pretty premium kahit gawa lang siya sa plastic. Now, the camera array, we have a 50-megapixel main shooter, 2-megapixel macro, and a 0.3-megapixel depth sensor. So out of those three, these two are really the lenses that you're going to be using. Except for that depth sensor that you'll be using for portrait shots. So we'll get a little bit more in-depth in the camera performance later on in a full review. Now, this is a smaller device compared to last year's C25. It is also 20 grams lighter, about 20 grams lighter than the C25. So that is also an upgrade, but that does mean we are getting a smaller battery on this device with 5,000 milliamp hours compared to last year's 6,000. In terms of buttons, we are also getting a side-mounted fingerprint sensor. Again, the superior biometrics on a smartphone, better than any other under-display fingerprint sensor out there. On the top, we are not getting a microphone, surprisingly. And on the left-hand side, we are getting the volume rockers and the dual SIM tray that does support up to 1 terabyte of external storage. On the bottom, we are getting a USB-C, both microphones, a 3.5mm jack, and a mono speaker. Now, in terms of the screen, we are getting a much better screen here compared to last year's C25. It does feature a 6.6-inch, slightly larger, full HD IPS LCD display. So that is much better than last year's 720p display. Kahit naka-water drop notch siya, kahit medyo malaki yung chin, mas importante ang resolution, because that is what you are looking at every time you use your phone. I'd rather get a water drop notch and a chin than a 720p screen even at 120 Hz. Mas maganda mag-enjoy ng content kung 1080p ang resolution ng screen mo. Yan, paro G, baby. Okay. Now, in terms of internals and performance, we are getting, like I said, 6 gigs of RAM, 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. In terms of UI, we are getting Realme UI version R edition. Since this is a budget device, it needs to be optimized, as well as Android 11. Now this device is packing a Tiger T616 processor, and let's see how it does in medyo lower light. Let me turn off this key light, see how it does. It didn't tell me to keep still, so that is really important. A huge pet peeve of mine when it comes to budget devices is that you have to hold still for a decent shot for like 5 seconds. This was pretty quick, and detail is not lost. That paper sleeve, nakikita mo yung crumple ng konti. It's very, very quick, so that is nice to see. Let's take a look at the front-facing camera and see how that does. Hello. Yan. Now, there is a very soft bloom look here, maybe because it is low light, but in terms of detail, nakuha pa rin ang aking bigote from that distance. That's very nice. Now let's actually try and use that macro lens, because we can't use that depth sensor. Might as well take a photo, macro. Okay. Well, it's a 2 megapixel shooter, so you can't expect too much, but if you do like taking very close-up shots of, let's say, leaves, bugs, or something very interesting in a small scale, then you have a camera to do that. Now, in terms of gaming, the Tiger T616 seems to be pushing graphics pretty okay when it comes to Subway Surfers. This game did come pre-installed on this device, so it shouldn't have any problem running it. But I can't wait to get Pokemon Unite and Mobile Legends Bang Bang into this phone to see how it performs on online games and MOBAs. Because you really want to be able to play online games on your smartphone nowadays, especially with, you know, connectivity everywhere else. So this is also only 4G capable, hindi siya 5G. So that can hamper your choice, but then again, this is an entry-level device, so it's best to temper your expectations. Now, this has been a quick unboxing and hands-on of the Realme C35. Now, there are some downgrades that we have on this phone compared to last year's C25, like that smaller battery. But if that means we get a 1080p screen, then it makes it all worth it, because it does make content consumption and general quality of life on your entry-level smartphone much better compared to last year's 720p screen. Make sure to let us know what you guys think of this brand new entry-level device from Realme. I am absolutely in love with this boxy design. I just love boxy phones. Anyway, this has been Anton with Unbox PH, and I'll see you guys next time.